Hey everyone, Technomentor with a video for you guys. In today's video, we're going to talk about the iPad Air second generation, if it's still worth it going into 2024. Now, this iPad was released back in October of 2014, which means in a couple months, this will be a decade-old tablet. And what does that mean for you if you're thinking about buying it, using it, or even getting it, or if you think about even upgrading it? From everything you need to know, we're going to discuss in this video. So the iPad Air second generation, of course, as you can see here, it's one of the lighter iPads out there. This is a 9.7-inch display here. You do have this 8 megapixel back camera, and then the front has 1.2 megapixel camera here. Now, when it was first initially or released here, it made some really astonishing kind of features, which was that it is a slim iPad. Now, compared to the Android tablet comparison of it, the iPad Air generation model, this one specifically stood out in a lot of ways. It does come with Apple's A8X chip with 2 gigs of RAM, and you can get this in up to the maximum of 128 gig, which doesn't seem like a lot, but at that time it seemed like a lot. So you can store quite a few photos and videos. Now, if you look at this iPad here, as you can see here, one of the big things that's going to come down to, it's going to be the software and the battery life of it. So the battery life, you're going to get around 7 to 8 hours depending on how much you use it. Of course, if you use it more, you're going to get a little less than that, and if you barely use it, you can get even longer time period out of that. It all depends on if you're using it for gaming or light browsing, or if you're using it for just streaming services. Which leads us to the next point, is the software on this iPad here. So originally it came with one of the earlier iOS's, but if you look at it right now, you can only go up to iOS 15, and if you go for a software update, you can see here the latest version you can get is iPad OS 15, which is the latest version. Apple still releases software updates for security purposes, but right now we're on iOS 17, so it's 2 generation old, but that doesn't mean that the iPad is obsolete. You see here that most popular apps still work fine from it. Things like YouTube, as you can see here, I am able to open up the YouTube app, browse around, watch videos without any issues. Other services like Netflix will work fine on it. You'll see you can use Netflix, Disney Plus, Hulu, all of those will still work on it. So a great streaming device for sure. In terms of productivity, it might not be the greatest tool for productivity if you're looking for an iPad that is meant to replace your laptop. This is not the Pro lineup, so you're going to have a little bit more challenges. But when it comes to light browsing, it's fine with it. Even things like messaging on it, of course, you can do FaceTime calls with it. You have those features, ability to FaceTime and iMessage on it. And most of your social media apps still will work, from X to Snapchat to Instagram, TikTok. All of those, once downloaded, it does take some time, second or two, maybe up to sometimes 5 seconds or so sometimes to load up, because of course it only has 2 gigs of RAM. So when you're trying to multitask, it's going to slow down on you. Keep that in mind. So going to conclude, is the iPad Air second generation still worth it? It's worth it if you're not looking to pay a lot for a newer iPad right now, going up to the Air 5th generation. So if you're just simply looking for a backup device for the purpose of maybe streaming shows and playing light games, don't expect to play heavy games, and just simply want something as a backup device, the iPad Air second generation still does the job pretty well. You can buy this new. If you're looking for it, you can buy it on a site like Amazon for under $70, $80 or so, which again is a good device compared to its Android counterpart. And if you're still using it, you can still use it without any issues. Kind of our thought about the iPad second generation is, if you're looking for something a little bit more better, consider maybe the Air 4th generation. The 5th is new, which means it's a lot more expensive, but if you were to get a 4th one, and of course the 5th is the latest, if you want to get the latest one and you're willing to spend that sort of money for it, you can definitely do that. But the iPad Air, again, second generation, it's still worth it for the lighter stuff, but not for the heavy productivity user or heavy gamers. And that's our review for the iPad Air second generation. I hope you guys found this video helpful. If so, please consider that like and subscribe button for more of these videos and other iOS devices. See you guys next time.